Tania Yager. And Tania Yager, hi, Tania. Hey.
Hey.
And Tania Yager loves to spin stories in a very visual manner through puppetry. And she has produced a whole global shadow festival in the last year. Um, wow. So Tanya is going to be telling us a tale, and we'll be experiencing it visually as well through the magical, ancient, contemporary mode called shadow puppetry. It is called Volf, and it evokes the darkness of this time of year, the old country, wherever that is, and the werewolves. Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you so much, Mindy. And thank you, everybody who turned out today. I am so excited to be a part of my very first Tellabration with the Storytellers of San Diego. And yeah, this story is an Twisted Heart Puppet Works original. I wrote and constructed the piece. And I took my influences from both Russian and French werewolf lore. So excuse me while I get set up. This will take just one moment. And you should be able to see my screen here. This is my Shadows for One screen. You can see that the screen is no larger than the palm of my hand. And here we go. The moon is a curious being, a thing of change and transition, a marker, a calendar. It has the power to make one thing into something very different. It is an object of mystical transformation and has been affecting mankind since its birth. One such man is Asia, who was a hunter of the Komi-Permian peoples long ago when the moon was new. Before the Soviet Union, before the Tsars, before Rusks and Kiev, there was Asia and his hunting spear. Asia's name meant tomorrow in the Komi language and was given to him by his mother to call down from the gods a bright future. He lived among the other Komis in a small tribe near the Picora River in the land that would soon become Russia. One year, there was great hunger in the tribe, as winter had been harsh on everyone and food was scarce. When Asia's mother died, his heart cracked with guilt, and he swore he would never again feel the pains of starvation. He decided to travel to see the old shaman woman that lived on the other side of the forest. He wanted her magical workings to aid him. Viedma, the shaman, was a mystery to the rest of the people. She lived in a small hut on a mound of dirt that people said housed a sleeping bear, and inside the bear, a sleeping serpent. It was said that this is where her power came from. Asia did not care where she got her power. He just wanted to stop the hunger and become the most skilled hunter in all the land. When he knocked, Viedma let him in with a crooked smile.
Why are you here, great hunter? I wish magic from you. The people are starving. I am starving. My mother is dead.
And so, what do you want my magic to do? You must say it.
I wish for you to make me the most skilled hunter in all of the land. I wish to never hunger again.
Huh. Wait here.
Viedma went behind the curtain, and he could hear the clinking of bottles. He thought to himself,
she must have magic. She looks so alive and fresh, like she dines with the gods nightly.
Viedma came back with a bottle in her hand.
Who do you worship, boy?
I am no boy. and I worship the great goddess Devan, goddess of the forest and the hunt.
Good, good. Does she come to you in dreams?
No,
Well, she will now. Take this salve, and on the next full moon, enter the forest and put the ointment on your chest. Then you will move like the wind and hunt like no other. What you catch that night will keep you satiated for weeks.
but I cannot hunt in the dark at night.
You can, and you will. If you doubt me, leave now and never cross my threshold again. There are many things I am. A liar is not one.
Asia took the salve and did what he was told. Only 2 nights passed before the first full moon. He put the salve on his chest and waited for the moonbeams to find him between the trees. He became dizzy, the world foggy. When he tried to focus his eyes and look at the trees, he saw a vision of the goddess Devana. She was silent and stern and shook her finger in warning. And then there was pain all over his body. If you ask Asia later, he would say that he did not remember much. A sense of freedom, of running so fast with the wind whipping his ears. It was like flying through the forest, followed by the most delectable foods he had ever eaten, and a sensation of complete fullness and tranquility. He fell into a deep sleep and had peaceful dreams. But when Asia awoke, his belly full, he opened his eyes to grotesque and bloody hands. He looked around and saw dead, eviscerated animals littered the ground all around him, and he tasted their fluids in his mouth. He ran back to the shaman woman in the early light of dawn.
Viedma, what have you done to me? What have you made me do?
Stop moaning, boy. I give you what you ask for. Great power of the hunter. You will hunger no more with this. Do not throw away my gifts for a squeamish belly and a weak mind. Use it.
I cannot. I will not.
You will. You have no choice now.
Asia threw the salve back at the witch and stormed away. That night was the second night of the full moon, and the beams found Asia sleeping in his bed. That day he had not felt hungry at all, and tried not to think of the events of the previous evening. But in sleep, all the same sensations came. He dreamed, and he felt the wind flow swiftly around his body. He delighted in the moonlight and the dark spaces of the forest. And then he ate. He ate the food of the gods. Indeed, he dined with Veles and Devana. They toasted his prowess as the best hunter in all the world. When Asia woke the next morning, he was not in his little bed, in his little hut. He was again out in the forest, the moon slipping away as the sun rose. Again, there was blood on his hands and animals scattered about. But this time, there was something else. He recognized the lifeless form of a child amongst the carnage.
No, no, I cannot have done this. How can this be? I gave back the salve.
When Asia came back to Viedma's hut, she said,
What do you want, Asia?
It happened again last night. What have you done to me?
I gave you what you asked for, silly boy.
You gave me a curse, old woman. I have killed a child. I am damned by the gods.
I gave you a gift, you fool. Every night you will run with the gods. You will know their freedom and their power. You will never hunger again, nor will any future children you should sire. You will father a long line of magnificent hunters.
No, this cannot be. You foul witch.
Asia pulled out his hunting knife and lunged at Viedma. She jumped out of the way and suddenly began to transform before his very eyes. Her hands grew, her face deformed, her whole body contorted. Asia was dumbstruck by what he saw and could not move. He could not even twitch a muscle when Viedma took her long claws and raked them across his chest. He could not cry out when she ate a hole through his throat. He could not even look away from her wolf eyes as she devoured his very full and satiated belly. 3 months later, there came a knock at Viedma's door again. This time, it was Sasha. He said he was tired of being hungry, and he wanted magic so that he could become the best hunter in all the land. Maybe this one would learn to be grateful for the gifts that she could give him. End.
Brava, brava. The shadow for one screen so perfectly held this tale, such a wonderful container. I've seen that one in person, yeah. Such a wonderful container, Tanya, for the powerful story.
Thank you.
Perfectly, that was perfectly realized, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you
I'm
so
happy
much,
to be here.
Tanya.